Testing, testing, 1, 2. Oh, are you kidding me? Capture default. No. Uh-oh. I lost. Working. There we go. Okay, so looks like we got the Razor siren to start working. Everything is good to go. I suppose I'm about as good to go as I'm going to be. Welcome to the stream. Hope you guys had a good holiday. I definitely did. I got a whole bunch of new toys to play with, including the paint puck, which you see over in the corner. Definitely a neat new way to make sure that my brushes are getting cleaned. Also got a vortex mixer and a couple of other things. One thing that I'm pretty happy about that I just couldn't wait to paint, I needed to get it done, I wanted to get it done, was I got this guy right here. So unfortunately the camera doesn't want to stay zoomed in on him, but this is the Golf Rocker. This is one of the new minis that came out for the holidays, and I just think he's a neat looking guy, so there we go. Did my best with painting him, think he turned out pretty good, but I got a couple of things I'm working on today. One of which is I have not touched this lad since the holidays started because I did not want to work on him without it being on stream. So I'm going to continue working on the Praetor and hopefully be done with him soon. But one other thing I have is I got these really neat, I 3D printed these really neat Cataphracti Terminator armor guys. This is what the body looks like. I'm going to continue putting those together at a later date, but right now I have a whole ton of just bits in front of me that I'm going to need to scoop out of the way. I'm probably only going to stream for maybe an hour, hour and a half, which actually is quite a while. But, oh yeah, and I got a Wow Stick. So for those who don't know, a Wow Stick is a small pin vise that has incredibly high torque, and it does a great job of drilling through practically everything. So that one excited me as well. I was really happy to get that because I'm getting tired of using the hand tightened pin vise, which has been a bit of a hassle. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to start this guy yet. I think, no, we're not playing Dark Tide today. Better paints. Let's change the title because I hecked up. Mini painting with, actually let's battery paints. Paint minis. Actually, slapping, no, I don't want to go with slapping that chop. We're not doing that specifically today. Finishing the tired man. There we go, bam. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit a lot of his gold accoutrements and a lot of his black accoutrements right now. And then I'll eventually go back and turn it into more of a non-metallic metal. But for now, I'm just going to get some black and some brown on my palette so I can begin working on those things. I really enjoy this vortex mixer. It's completely rid of the desire and the need to hand shake them, which is always an annoyance. Okay, let's see, can you hear me? Is it picking me up? Yeah, okay, we're picking me up. So I've changed up my layout just a little bit at the desk, and it's causing me to have to crane in really hard. Hopefully this doesn't end up being an issue. But first, I'm going to go ahead and get this entire thing. And I'm just going to paint his plate, his little dinner plate, belt buckle, completely black. And actually, I don't even know why I'm going this delicate with it. Let's go ahead, put a lot more on there because I'm not going to try and paint around the Aquila on there. I'm just going to go ahead and paint over it. And then from there, I can go back and start doing non-metallic metal gold. and some of the other on the higher up bits on the actual fillet. So apparently I did a little bit of red and then I just kind of gave up. That's what it looks like. Hey, Mr. Motorhead. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you. Despite it being the holiday seasons, I am apparently not allowed to sleep in, and I've been waking up since we're at 5 to 6 a.m. every day. Winter is when my sinuses get the best of me, so they're just kicking my butt. Hope you had some good holidays. Hope you got some neat stuff. Whoops, there he went. Mix up some red so I can finish up that trim. But yeah, hope your holidays were good. Hope you had good times with friends and family. Got some cool things. I had about as good a Christmas as I could have. I was pretty jazzed with how everything went down. Wife had a good time. I had a good time. It was kind of funny though. We realized that last Christmas it was 85 degrees. Yeah, no, mine was great. But yeah, we realized last Christmas it was 85 degrees outside. She wanted to wear a dinosaur sweater that she had bought specifically for the holidays. But it was, you know, prohibitively hot out. So she just went ahead and wore something else. But this year, it was, you know, like 20 degrees outside. So she got to go ahead and wear her cool Christmas sweater. Negative 26, good lord. I thought we had it bad at, we had a negative 12 wind chill factor on Christmas Eve. Hey Snow Twig, how's it going? Hope you had good holidays. Glad to see you guys. I'm very tired. I'm on break, and so, I'm not having to work right now, but my body doesn't realize that, so it's waking me up at the crack of dawn every day, and earlier. So I am all kinds of tired. And I would just roll back over and go back to sleep, but my allergies kick in, and then I can't breathe, and you know, all that fun stuff. So I kind of have to wake up whether I want to or not. Let's see, what else can I do on this guy? Ooh, he does have that crystal. I can paint that power crystal. I can at least get some red on there so I can go back and hit it again. I don't think I like this setup. I'm having to crane in really far. I've got a new spray booth that I've made, but it's just tall enough that it's in the way of the lighting and the mic setup and everything. So I'm having to like lean really far forward to do my painting. And of course, I don't wear my glasses when I paint because I'm incredibly nearsighted. So they do the opposite of helping me. What else can I do? I think he's going to need, I think all the red trim is done, so now he needs some black trim. Or not black trim, he needs some dark brown trim. That's it. So I'm going to take some of the dark brown. But yeah, hope you guys had a good Christmas. Hope you guys got some cool shit. That's kind of the best part of Christmas is spending time with family and seeing all the cool things that everyone wanted to get for each other and thought that the other person would like. That's my favorite part of it, at least. I got a ton of crafting stuff to help with the painting, and that's been a lot of fun. Because normally I don't tend to get a lot of it, since I'm really worried about asking for it, since, you know, this hobby is expensive. But I had some really good friends this year decide that they wanted to spend money on the hobby stuff because they know that I'm doing the streaming. So I was able to get some really nice equipment that was both affordable and incredibly useful. Yeah, other than it being prohibitively cold, apparently not as cold as it was from Mr. Motorhead. I can't imagine being a negative 26 degrees. I'm from Virginia primarily, so anything below about 20 or 30 is way too cold for me. Being at negative 26 might just kill me. How do you deal with that? How does is the electricity rated well enough so that it doesn't freeze over? How do you make sure that when you go outside, you don't freeze over? It just sounds like a miserable time for everyone. Okay. Get rid of all the yellow there because you stay inside, everything's insulated to a correct rating. That's definitely good. Yeah, like I said, I'm in Roanoke, Virginia, and I think this Christmas was the coldest Christmas on record at, I think it was 32 degrees outside, or that a high of 32 on the day of Christmas, but Christmas Eve, like I said, I'm pretty sure it dropped down to, it actually dropped down to 2 degrees in the morning, and then it went up to, I think, 12 that day, and with the wind chill going, we didn't get above the single digits. And that was enough to cause a whole bunch of alarm and a whole lot of issues, so I can't imagine trying to live in an area where you're down in the negatives. I had a friend who was up in Alaska. She was a babysitter type thing. Negative 66. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I guess at that point you don't have a choice. If you go outside, you'll just die. Negative 66 degrees. Good Lord. Yeah, I had a friend who was up in Alaska a couple years ago, because she got a very lucrative babysitting job up there, taking care of a very well-to-do family's kids. 66 is a good day. No, thank you. I'll stay down closer to the equator, please. And she used to live in one of those towns where, like, you didn't leave. They had subterranean tunnels get you from point A to point B, so that way you didn't have to go outside. He went for a smoke break and forgot, and went to chase his hat that blew off. In less than 30 seconds, he started to freeze, came back. Yeah, exactly. I figure at that point, if you lose it, you lose it. It's nature's now. It belongs to them. That must be an interesting way to live, though. Not having access to the outdoors, just having to live in subterranean tunnels. It sounds like a video game, you know what I mean? Apparently everything was really expensive there because it was up in Alaska. So I can't imagine what it was actually like living up there. Groceries and gas were ridiculous. I don't think she drove anywhere though, so she didn't have to deal with that problem. Okay. That's all painted black. That's all painted black. Everything else is going to be a dark brown, except for, I think, his eagle. He does the 2-week on, 2-week off flying. Good Lord. I couldn't imagine having to do that. I had a friend who did something like that. He lived up in Montana, and he worked in an oil rig. And he was making really, really good money. But unfortunately, the chemicals were eating through his protective equipment and eventually put like a huge wound on his hand. Yeah, that's it. That's it. But yeah, he was making really good money, but unfortunately, it was actively killing him. And he eventually had to quit that job, which was unfortunate because by then his wife had bought like 2 horses or 3 horses because they lived on like a big open ranch area, I think. I don't talk to them much anymore because they had some really weird, strong opinions on the welfare state, which was even weirder given that that was the only reason his wife and their newborn didn't die is because they were on the welfare state for a couple of months and relying on the kindness of others to get them through. Yeah, exactly, right? Work is definitely not worth that kind of commitment. We work to live. We don't live to work. No, I mean, it's pretty darn good if you find a job that you enjoy, that pays well and all that stuff. but I'm not going to sacrifice my long-term health for a job. Not like that. That's a degree of insanity that I don't feel like I should be a part of. Oh. Oh. That sounds awful. That is not a boss I'd want to work for. I guess in a lot of ways I consider myself really lucky because I got that sweet, sweet government job working as an educator. Especially in a city school. Oh, that's awful. That's no fun. That happened to a restaurant that I like to go to at college. They had really good gyros and fries, and Mediterranean place. The people who served were always really nice. Things were going really well. And after I left it, I found out that place was actually like a front for drug money, for like a big methamphetamine ring or something. And it was just like, oh, well, I'm glad that they at least cared enough to make their food good. But then again, I guess as a college student, I was about to say scumbag, and college student, and I would have come out cumbag, and I would have felt awful. Only me and a few other coworkers cash. Yeah, that makes sense. But as a college student, my tastes weren't exactly that refined. So the fact that they served, half decent boardwalk fries and everything, meant that I thought it was a really darn good location. I just got a ping. Give me a second. I think I might need to be right back. Oh, that works. Okay. Yep, I was right. I'm going to have to cut. At least the drug money would pay off the staff. Yeah, right. I'm pretty sure that it was a front. So yeah, he could afford to pay his staff very well, and I think his staff was primarily family too. So they were all in on it. But then again, I wouldn't know because by the time I learned about this, I was way up, or a few cities up north, and I haven't been back since. There were a couple of weird stories from my college. Evening, Pilky. Good to see you. I had to dip out of your stream. I'm gonna move out of this area. Well, that's good. Where you, especially if it's gonna be friggin' negative whatever it was. Where are you planning on moving to? Okay, let's get that. I am having the hardest time keeping everything in focus. I don't think that this stream setup is gonna work too well. I'm happy that it was on a short stream, that I got to test this out. Oh yeah, I forgot, you're up in Canada. I'll be honest, I have very, very limited knowledge of Canadian geography. British Columbia is... Okay, fair enough. I had a friend in high school that was from Canada. She was the person who taught me what balut was, and didn't give me much of a warning. She was just like one day when I asked her, "Hey, how's it going?" She went, "Hey, oh, I'm eating balut." And I was like, "What's that?" She said, "Well, one moment, I'll get you a picture." And she sends me a picture of a half-fertilized, half-developed chicken fetus spilling out of an egg, and I lost my mind because I was way too young to have that kind of filter to be like, no, that's a delicacy in some places. People enjoy eating that. Be nice. Yeah, it's a Filipino thing, from what I understand, and a Chinese thing. But it's definitely not something I would eat because that just squicks me out a wee bit. And so yeah, I just that's the one thing I remember about Canada. Anything related to Canada is I had a friend from Canada. She introduced me to balut, and I've never forgiven her. That's kind of what that boils down to. Okay, now I think I can go ahead and start doing his belts. This is a really cool model, and I really like it, and I appreciate that Games Workshop is still creating fantastic sculpts. Like, I may not agree with them on all counts, but their sculpts are really neat. But yeah, Pilkey, I dipped out of your stream for a bit while I went grocery shopping and did some chores with the missus. And kind of missed the end of it. When I got back, you were all done. But that's okay. I was glad to see you. Glad to chat. Glad to see how you're doing okay. I kind of got out of the groove of doing this streaming stuff, so I almost didn't go back on. I didn't know if I'd be able to, keep up with the talking and all that. But things seem to be going okay. Okay, let's see what I can do here. But yeah, I'm not using this setup again. I can barely see what I'm doing. I'm just hoping it's going to turn out okay. Fair enough. I gotta admit, I keep forgetting that Kieran is also a big Warhams fan, so being able to kind of geek out with you two on stream was a lot of fun. I got to a point with the Horus Heresy books where I just kind of decided I'm not having fun reading these anymore. They're not telling me stories I want to read about, and so I think I mentioned this before, but I think a book or two. I ended up getting to like the second Vulcan book, I believe. Deathfire? I don't even remember what it's called, but it's the one where they finally make it back to Nocturne. And I got about 2/3 through that book, and I gave up because it was just, I was not enjoying it. It was a slog. And then I ended up doing 1 or 2 more books, and I remember being just so incredibly nonplussed with how they were. I think they were short stories, anthologies, that I just skipped ahead, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and read the ones I want to read, which at this point are Master of Mankind, Path of Heaven, which is a White Scars book, and The Buried Dagger, which was the book that has Mortarion finally fall to chaos. And I just finished Master of Mankind, and that book is an absolute banger. And if you guys want to read a really cool book that has the Emperor, Custodes, and is all about the war on the webway, I would go for it. It's well written. Aaron Dembski Bowden understood the assignment. And now I'm reading through The Buried Dagger, and it has my single favorite line in all of the Horus Heresy, which I was not expecting to come from a book about Mortarion and the Death Guard. But it starts with like an interval, I guess, before the first chapter. And I'm not sure why it's telling this story yet. I guess it's to set up the fact that Horus is calling everyone to war. But Mortarion is on a planet that he's taking for Horus or whatever. And this planet is horribly, horribly polluted, right? And all the people, when they're born on this planet, all the laborers, they apparently immediately have their noses and mouths grafted shut by tech adepts. And so they have to have like shunts put in them so that they can eat and breathe and whatnot with these heavy filtration dealies. And Mortarion does this thing where he goes to the place and he takes it by force, and we get to see Mortarion be a badass because he cleaves through a bunch of the guys, and then gets to the main throne room, and immediately starts demanding to know who's in charge. And as everyone is kind of cowering around him, he hears a mechanical voice say, "I am," and he looks over and sees this brain in a jar. And that's all it is. It's literally a brain in a jar, and it's attached to like a mechanical pulley system that allows it to move around the room for some reason. And it goes up to him, and it tells him, I am planetary governor, whatever his name was, something really dramatic, and appointed by the Emperor of Mankind, he who rules over all. Just this really dramatic, flowery, self-important speech about who he is. And after he finishes, he's like, and you will not take this planet. And after he finishes, Mortarion just yells back at him, you are a couple of kilograms of stale meat in a jar. And that caught me completely off guard. Good evening, Red. How's it going? I'm really hoping that you got your dreadnoughts, and I hope that they turned out okay and they're not busted or anything. I think about that quite a bit. Oh no, this is very wet. Give me a second, I need to try this off. Post still on strike. Oh, unfortunate. I mean, they're hopefully very well packed, which seems to be the case with everything I send. So I'm just really hoping they arrive in one piece, and that they are worth the money you spent. I'd feel really bad if they ended up being below expectations. But I mean, you saw, is the mic different in this new setup? Yes, it is. It was off to the side, and I had it so that it was kind of poking in from stage left, and to get it kind of out of the way of my hands and whatnot, I put it at the edge of the desk, the opposite side. So now it's facing me. But because of how long this desk is, and because of the new setup that I'm trying out, that I'm probably not going to try again, it's facing me, but I'm having to crane forward really far to paint because I have a whole bunch of stuff set up here that is kind of in the way. I tried to move everything so that it was across from me instead of beside me, because I had all the arms coming out at different angles from my left and my right, and I'm not really liking it. Like I've complained a couple times, this desk is very deep, and I'm having to like really hunch over it to A, be in the light, and B, be in a place where the camera's catching and everything. So this is not going to be the same. I'm going to probably readjust everything. I'm assuming that I sound different, or that I'm far away, or that I'm not coming through clearly. I do also have the music up a little higher, I think. I don't recall. Fair bit of reverb on the sound. Oh, Christ. That's awful. I wonder what could be causing that. One moment. Microphone access. That's all good. System. Sound. Yep, speakers. Razer Sire Mini. No, that's all correct. That's weird. I'll have to give this a listen to when I finish, so I can figure out what the heck's going on. I'm understandable, but it's almost like I'm being multi-tracked. Oh, I think I found it. Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what was happening. Why is there talking into his airbrush booth? Okay, no, the problem is that the mic was on. There was also an auxiliary mic on, and I don't know why. I don't even know what this is to. That's being muted. I don't know what that was for. Properties? It's the default mic, which should be I don't know. I don't get it. Hey, Kieran. Okay, well, thank you for pointing that out, because I don't know why that was on. What was I doing with... Oh, yeah, I was painting his cloak. I think I've mentioned it before. Okay, that's fantastic. Yeah, it was because there were two different audio inputs that were both activated, and I'm not sure why. That's never been something that's been on for default on this thing, so no clue. But yeah, glad that sounds better. I mean, that would make sense, since I have put up a booth. This one's a lot smaller than my previous booth, so I figured I could just have everything crane over it. Windows 10 is shit for that. Yeah. Windows 10's bad for a lot of things. The only reason I use it is because I'm too nervous to try and learn something like Linux. I have a friend who keeps telling me I should, that I would get a kick out of it. Did you airbrush to get that gradient? Yes, I did. I did a zenithal airbrush. I first, if I recall right, because it's been a few weeks and I've kind of gotten really automatic with how I do things. He was zenithaled. I first colored him black, and then I zenithaled over a white of some kind, and then I airbrush sprayed Averland Sunset, so that the parts that were hit with more of the white came out more yellow, and the parts that were black just kind of remained black. And it does create an absolutely beautiful creamy gradient. And now my goal is to try and replicate it when I paint the cloak. Yeah, I don't do enough with Windows to really notice how bad it is, but a lot of my friends complain about it and some of the issues that it has and some of the ways that it tries to finagle the settings. But I've never had any deep issues with Windows because I've never tried to delve too deep into Windows, you know what I mean? And that might really be the case. It's just like I haven't really tried to use Windows. So I can't exactly identify the problems with Windows. Let's see what I can do here with this. Yeah, I've specifically tried not to paint minis that I've started on camera, unless I was streaming. So I've got a couple that I finished in the meantime, but the ones that I started here have kind of stayed here. I think I could benefit from a bigger brush for this. But I will say, I was not impressed with this mini when I first saw him, because he was just another Marine holding up something like, hey, look what I got. But I will say, his cloak is one of the coolest cloaks that I think any of them have had. So I'm going to have a lot of fun making this thing look absolutely gorgeous. Whoops! Whoa! I think that dropper bottle of water burst. That's not what I want. This is the oh my god, what are they called? The Praetor that came with the Age of Darkness set. And I originally bought him because I really wanted his head. Because he has a really dapper, gentlemanly, like, mustachioed head. And I thought it was the funniest thing in the world that the captain, or the Praetor, looks so ridiculously posh. Let me see if I can find him. That's him, but he's wearing his helmet. That's not what I want. There he is. There's a picture. Copy image address. Let's hope this works. A Volkite? Yes, it is. He's from the Age of Darkness set, so he is definitely using a Volkite pistol there. Or yeah, I guess it's a Volkite pistol. It's a friggin' huge pistol is what it is. But it's A, beautiful, and B, freaking cool. Give me a second. I'm still figuring out. Okay. No, that's not the URL I want. I want that one. Is that it? Yep. Okay, so this was one of the heads he came with, and like I said, it just looks so incredibly British to me that I had to have him, because one of my favorite model. I don't need this much head. Good lord. I know, right? He is a lad. He is a very British lad. Even though he probably still has tea time. I don't know. But yeah, he's an awesome, awesome looking model. His power sword's really cool. His Volkite gun is amazing. He's just a good looking model. Yeah, he does, doesn't he? He does look like he should be a rogue trader. That's a really good way. That's a really good analogy. But I love that head. And so when I bought a Gravis Captain with the heavy bolt rifle, the one that's kind of like leaning back and has one hand resting on the sword and the other hand resting, or like holding the
the heavy bolt rifle against his hip. I didn't want to use the Gravis head because I don't like the Gravis and Primaris helmets. I really don't like them. So, I know, right? So I went ahead and found someone was selling this model for like $15 on eBay. So I snatched it up, grabbed the head off of it, and refit it so that it fit on the Gravis Captain. So now I have an incredibly posh-looking Gravis Captain, and he's going to be my chapter master for the fists because they go through a chapter master every codex, it seems. So it's perfectly within reason for me to have my own. I know, right? $15 for a Games Workshop model. What most likely happened is they bulk bought the Age of Darkness set, and since everything in that everything in that is basically discounted down 50%, and they sold it piecemeal. My next goal is to get the Praetor with the axe because that guy is amazing. I don't know if you've seen the Praetor with the axe. He looks kind of like the Lord of Contagion, but he's got a big freaking battle axe instead. Actually, no, Lord of Contagion has a chain axe. You know what? Give me a second. I'll find that too, just for funsies. To be honest, I would have 3D printed these guys, but unfortunately, no one's bothered to put out funny-looking STLs of them yet. Okay. This setup ain't working for me. I am struggling so hard to see what I'm doing. Okay, get that nice. But yeah, I decided to put them together just for kicks and giggles, and was just gonna paint him just to paint him. But then I saw that his cloak is almost as amazing as his beard and mustache, so I'm gonna go ahead and put him together and assemble him, and I'm going to use the head that I was going to use for my chapter master. And I think I've shown him off on stream a couple times, but when I showed him to Soft Servo, another one of my friends, all he had to say is that is the most tired looking Space Marine I've ever seen. And he is. I accidentally made him way too exhausted looking. One moment, let me switch on. There we go. So he just looks absolutely wasted, and so he's gonna be the thing that goes on the captain model. At least that's the hope. Okay, now I've got to refocus everything, so this is gonna go right here. Nope, I focused it pretty well. Yeah, eBay can, especially with all the, whoops, not what I want, especially with the box sets and whatnot. There are people putting out sale covers, there are people putting out models that look like they came from, yes to both. I don't. They're not just straight scanning the GW models, but they're doing a really good job replicating them and getting models that are like getting sculpts that look really close, and then calling them silly things. My favorite one so far. I don't want to out the guy because I don't actually. No one's watching this that would be of any import. So, He did sculpts of like Ferrus Manus, like a couple of the Primarchs. I think he also did Corax, and from the Heresy, and he tried to keep their poses relatively close. And he did one for Rogel Dorn that I ended up taking, and he called it Rugel McDougal started a farm on Terra and only made $30,000 a year, which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. But he did a really good job mimicking the sculpt. And I obviously don't know all of the specifics on the Rogel Dorn sculpt, other than that I really wanted one, and I didn't want to pay $150 for it. So I went ahead and downloaded the sculpt, and I have from an old Kickstarter a text-to-speech Rogel Dorn head that I could size and print. So I have now a Rogel Dorn Primarch that has the text-to-speech head, and he's one of my favorite models. I posted him on Reddit. The models of Primus Husband as Guardian Captain with the hammer and the shield. That is freaking awesome. Those are great looking models. I really think that the guys at Lynn Forge outdid themselves with those units, because they all just look absolutely amazing and they all fit right in. So yeah, that was a good purchase. Good job. I hope that model ends up looking really friggin' cool for your custom chapter. Okay, I need to focus in a little bit. Oh no, I already messed up. But yeah, Kieran, if you give me a second, I posted him on Reddit when I first finished painting him. I can go find him real quick. Whoops. But yeah, I really like the Rogaldorn model. My wife is an artist, an art major, and she did a really good job explaining why the Rogaldorn pose is such a good one, because even though it's obviously very static and kind of plain, a wolf lore, that's fantastic. Okay, so boom, and I'm just gonna put it in here. Boom. That's the dealie. Sorry, that's the Reddit post. And new browser. Boom. Will that work? No, that broke it. Copy image. Just show me the image. There we go. Yep. So yeah, this is completely 3D printed. There is nothing Games Workshop official. I know, right? It's so good. There's nothing Games Workshop official about this model. But yeah, one of the comments in that Reddit was like, hey, you know, his shoulder pauldrons, the wings on it are too thick, and this is wrong and that's wrong. And all I could think of is like, you know what? When I talk to the creator next time, I'll let him know, but I can't change that stuff. I'm not smart enough. But yeah, I love that. I love the text-to-speech head. I love that character. If you guys haven't seen Hunter the Parenting, you should watch Hunter the Parenting. It's made by the same people. It's using the same actors and actresses to play the characters, but it's in the world of darkness, and it really just feels like the Emperor living one of his many lives before he became the Emperor of Mankind. Except he's severely emotionally unstable, and it's very funny because of that. Okay, let's see. My depth perception is so this might end badly. It's apparently very minor things, and that's why I was just like, God, shut up. You know what I mean? Let me enjoy the fact that I have this. But yeah, it's very minor things about like the thickness on certain pieces to him and this, that, and the other. It's nothing egregious. And I'm pretty sure if I showed up with him to an event, like at a game shop, people would just be stunned. The best bit so far has been Big D trying to buy a blender from the 99 pence store. Because it's been a lot of internal monologuing as Big D tries to navigate being a normal human being and failing miserably. Okay, I don't... so much red. I'm not happy I just wasted all that red. Okay, what else do I need? I'm kind of meandering here because I'm not sure what I need to do with them. I need to let the cloak dry because this cloak is going to end up being an absolutely beautiful color. I can feel it in my bones. I've recently been practicing a lot on cloak painting, and every time, whether I want it to or not, it ends up looking fantastic, so I'm excited. Actually, give me a second. Because I do have, that's the image slideshow. Image files. I have a couple things that I painted while I wasn't on here, and I'm kind of happy with how they turned out. I'm trying to get rid of some of my minis because I want to spend it on other minis, but I recently did this Lord of Contagion, and I'm really happy with how he turned out. There he is. He was originally painted by someone else before I bought it, and I didn't like his paint job. It was too bright and whatnot, so I went ahead and redid the dang thing. And I'm much happier with how my version came out. Yeah, he's ugly and dirty, and I appreciate that. Okay, let's... Actually, no, I'm going to give him a deep red. Yeah, I think that's a great model. Oh, I was going to show you the other Praetor with the axe. Praetor with power axe. And I'm pretty sure that they were clearly coded to be like an Imperial Fist Praetor and a Sons of Horus Praetor, but they didn't give them any iconography to clearly label them as such, so you could make them whatever chapter you wanted. But the Praetor with the power axe to me reads like a Sons of Horus character, whereas the Imperial, or the one with the power sword, looks a lot more like he's supposed to be an Imperial Fist. You know what I mean? The top knot, I think, is what does it for me, because I know, right? Isn't that a friggin' cool model? The new models are so good, and yeah, I know. No, I don't want to get rid of the video capture device. I want to get rid of the browser. So many of the new things look good. The new Mark 6 Space Marines are beautiful. There's a lot to like about what they did with Age of Darkness, and I'm going to be really, really frustrated if that game ends up like stumbling and failing, because there's so many cool things coming out for it. Though it seems that 30K is having something of a resurgence. Exactly. That thing is going to slay every piece of shrubbery and greenery it comes across. But they're starting to make plastic models of 30K kits now, so I think they did the Land Raider... I don't even remember the name. The big Land Raider. One of the big Lord of War Land Raiders. Dark Angels? Yeah, I can see that. I think the thing that sells it for me as Sons of Horus is the skull adornments and the top knot, which, if I remember right, those things were already Sons of Horus before the Heresy, and it only got worse post-Heresy. Speaking of red, did you see the new Azrael model? Pilkey was talking about that in his stream earlier, and it's a really good looking model. It just has the problem of still having a really stupid gun and a very blasé face. I didn't even notice the face until Pilkey pointed that out, but he's dead on. The face on the new Azrael model just looks like he's trying to say, "Son, I am disappointed." And it doesn't read as intimidating as as like dynamic as the original model. I haven't thought of the "Son, I am disappointed" meme. Well, yeah, Azrael is an old model, but they had him cross the Primaris Rubicon, whatever you want to call it, and so he's been given an update. And the updated model, he really does look like the "Son, I am disappointed." I didn't even notice that. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Give me a second. Oh yeah, Kieran, they've restarted the Horus Heresy with a new rule set called Age of Darkness, and you should give it a look. There's the last. "Son, I am disappointed." I do love the fact that he's keeping his Mark 7 or his Mark 7 helm, and he hasn't moved to the Primaris one. I hate the Primaris model. Okay, so here's, and meanwhile, here's the original model, and this was the picture that Pilkey found, because you went to Warcom, I think. I've been doing 30K plastic for a while. Picked up a load several years ago, mostly just basic Marines. Yeah, that was Betrayal at Calth or Prospero Burns. Those were the two that they did previously. But they've decided to completely redo it. So, geez, Kieran, that means you haven't seen the new Beakies, the new Mark 6 Marines. They're beautiful and I love them. But I mean, look at how just incredibly... Oh my god. I wasn't in the hobby when those came out. But yeah, I mean, like, his face in this one, it's obviously a little misshapen, but he's very clearly, like, yelling for glory or something. And, that one, he... I can't unsee it. I am disappointed.
I haven't thought of that meme in years. Oh, God, that's funny. Okay, I'd love to get some Mark III Marines. Okay, so all I can think of is this meme now. Okay, that's enough of that. Uh, well, yeah, so here, I can actually show them off because I have them. I have them with me. So let's see. Let's go with some of the baseline stuff. So Kieran, you know, like here's a tactical marine next to a Primaris marine, right? My goodness, Pilkey, I might have to just like buy some off you. But yeah, you've seen these guys before, right? You've seen just the ridiculous size difference as they went more to true scale. And that's okay. Like, I like the move to true scale. I'm not very fond of the Primaris Marine look. But that's a whole nother story. So, here is the new Beaky Marine, the new Mark VI. I really, really like the new Mark VI Marine. I think they've got it to true scale, so he is still smaller than a Primaris Marine, but the posing on them and the proportions are beautiful. This one's a lot dirtier. Yeah, I know, right? Aren't they great looking? Like, they're really good looking models, and they've been releasing in plastic chapter specific helmets and chapter specific shoulder pads to go along with them. I really suggest. Thank you, I appreciate it. I really suggest that if you have the time here, you go ahead and go into like Warhammer community or whatever, and look up all of the chapter-specific stuff they've been releasing. Because if you've got a chapter that you follow or that you really enjoy, they're going to have cool things for it. They're now doing faction-specific Praetors, captains. Yeah, the Mark III and IVs are a little bigger than the old tactical Marines, but they're a little smaller than the current Mark VIs. They're built to the old game size before Games Workshop decided they wanted to start going through scale. Counterpoint, Kieran. Sell your gray shame for money and use that money to buy more. Don't take my advice. I can't do that. Oh my god. Oh yeah, they've got new Catachan jungle fighters coming out soon, and oh my goodness, are they freaking cool. They've got new Astra Militarum. They're gonna have a World Eaters faction coming soon with new Primarch Angron. That is like perfect. They couldn't have gotten Angron more right if they tried. Oh dear, Mr. Motorhead, what have you shared? Space Nom. I love it. Oh, they're perfect! Oh my god, they're beautiful. Yes, they did. I love the old Catachan Jungle Fighters just because they were so doofy looking, but these new ones, are these War Games Atlantic, this is exactly what they're supposed to look like. Man. Wait a minute, Kieran, that means you haven't seen the new Angron Demon Primarch, have you? Oh. Kieran, I'm about to make you poop your pants. The new Angron model is so darn good. Like this. Okay, so bam. This is what Angron's gonna look like. He's coming out in like February, and I have a friend who's playing World Eaters, so I'm trying to help him sell off some of his stuff. He's so angry and so muscular that even his wings have biceps. That is my favorite part of the model, the fact that his like wings have a flex going on. But yeah, I've got a friend who's playing World Eaters, and so I'm trying to help him gather up enough money so that he can get the World Eaters box and that Angron. And I don't know if he's ever going to have the time to paint them, but if he doesn't, I will. I'm very excited for it. Yeah, the Demon Primarchs all look great. I'm actually, very soon, I'm going to, You done messed up, eh, Angron? He did. He apparently killed Commissar Yarrick.
And Gazco Thraka, there's been some like fan theories that Gazco is pissed that Angron killed Yarick, and he's going to try and go back to oh my god, what's the name of the planet? Armageddon, and try and fight Angron. Gilliman made his return in 8th edition, and 9th edition has gone without seeing a Primarch, but there are huge rumors that the Lion is coming back in 10th edition. And they released a Demon Primarch for every edition, I think. So Mortarion came back for 8th edition to fight Gilliman. Angron is coming back for 9th. I'm pretty sure, almost positive, banking on it, that they're going to release... We were just on it! GWC! Yeah, I know, right? You know what? It was the pandemic. The pandemic screwed everyone over because 9th edition came out right at the beginning of the pandemic because I bought the Indomitus box. Like, it sold out and was then print to order. And, okay, yeah, Magnus was at the end of 7th. That's what I always thought. I didn't know for sure, but, like, Magnus and the Thousand Sons were in 7th. And then, Mortarion and the Death Guard were for 8th. And, 9th is going to be Angron and the World Eaters. And I will bet you almost any amount of money that Demon Primarch Fulgrim and the Emperor's Children are going to be 10th. And when that happens, I'm going to scream, because I've gone from absolutely hating the Emperor's Children and hating Fulgrim to being a humongoid Fulgrim fan. The fact that he's such a magnificent bastard makes him so funny to me. Like, he's a magnificent bastard who sucks at being a magnificent bastard, you know what I mean? And that's funny. That's peak comedy. No. I don't want that. Please, go away. Delete message. Angel Exterminatus. The book Angel Exterminatus, because at that point Fulgrim is completely bought into Slaanesh, and he is just such... How do I put it? He makes me think of him from the Powerpuff Girls, but worse. So, like, when he shows up, first of all, his army is obviously this horrible orgy of violence and drug abuse and other things. And Perturabo just can't deal with it because he's like, brother, what have you done, you stupid bastard? And then he describes, then Fulgrim tells him, look, I've got something special to tell you, but I'm only going to tell you if you build a beautiful Colosseum for me in 2 days. And so Perturabo's just like, fine, fuck it, I'll build the Colosseum. And he builds this stunning, beautiful piece of work. And he's like even happy for a moment. And if you know Perturabo, you know Perturabo's never happy. But he does so. And then Fulgrim, like, proceeds to tell the story of the fall of the Eldar, and he goes for a really long time to do so because he's on center stage, and that's exactly what he wants. And at one point, he gets interrupted by someone. Yeah, I really hope not. I don't want them to do that. They don't need to resize anything. Just keep everything as it is. They're gonna make it so you have to buy the Joy Toy action figures and play with those. But as he's cavorting across the stage and telling this story of the fall of the Eldar and how terrible they are, like, one of the other soldiers tries to interrupt him and ask him, you know, what's the point to this story, or why are we talking about the filthy Xenos or whatever? And Fulgrim stops like mid-pose and turns to him and is like, how dare you interrupt me? And, you know, it's just very comical and silly. Yeah, that is a really good... So, the Mark IVs are about the size of the Tactical Squad, and the Mark IIIs are a little bigger. And then the Mark 7 or the Mark 6s, the new ones, are much larger. Yeah, 25mm, their feet were kind of hanging off the edges, and that felt weird. That is a really good shot of all of them. I think 25mm should be reserved for human-sized guys, so like the Militarum and the Tau and the Sisters. It's a little too small for the Space Marines. But anyway, Fulgrim continues to just be a magnificent bastard the entire time, and then you find out that the Angel Exterminatus, his supposed, you know, ultimate weapon, was just his attempt to ascend to Demon Princehood, and he needed part of Perturabo's soul to do that. And just watching Fulgrim be so self-absorbed and awful the entire time really sold him on me. Like, he went from being a tragic character to just a cartoon villain. The Cruder now on 32? Okay, then. Yeah, the Joy Toys are really cool. They were built using games... Like, they apparently just kind of studied the models and then made them into, I think, 6-inch tall posable action figures. And I really want one. I want a Torgarodon. I need to have an angry Gravis Imperial Fist Captain. But they're super neat, and I really like them. What was I doing with him? I was going to make something else a different color, and I've already forgotten what it was. I am getting to the point where I'm going to need to hop off, because I told my wife I was going to have dinner with her before her D&D game. I've seen both brand painted versions in game, and honestly, I'm happy they exist. I know, right? But yeah, I can't wait to see Demon Primarch Fulgrim, because there have been so many good renditions of Demon Primarch Fulgrim from third-party sellers that I get the feeling Games Workshop knows that they've got, you know, quite a bit of ground to cover to make us all forget about the fake ones, like they did with Demon Primarch Angron, because there's some great Demon Primarch Angron sculpts out there, but they all don't hold a candle to that new one. 6-inch peak one. I think they're all on 32mm bases. I don't think the Mark 6 is on a smaller base. One moment. Yeah, all three of them are on the same size base. The only difference is that I think because the other two are so widespread with their legs, it just makes it look bigger. They're all supposed to be on 32mm bases. That's my understanding, at least. That. Okay, well, didn't get as far as I wanted to. That's okay. I got him blocked in. I've got some shading done. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start cleaning up because I need to go eat dinner with the wife. I haven't heard much from her, so I'm kind of scared. She's been trying to make her family recipe of pound cake for the past week. And the first time it didn't go well, and she was really upset because she felt like she wasted a ton of stuff, a ton of ingredients. And so she tried again today, and I haven't heard anything from her. So either she's being real quiet because she knows that I'm down here streaming, or she's being real quiet because it was another dud. And I hope it was not another dud, because my wife's a really good cook, and I don't want her to feel bad because she messed up a pound cake. So I'm a filthy heathen, and I reuse my my wet palette paper. Oh, before I go, I've got something to show you guys. So obviously I do the 3D printing thing, right? And this person released these things called the Voidwalker suits, and the Voidwalker suits are basically Tartarus Terminator pattern armor and Cataphracti Terminator armor. And they're really friggin' cool. So, like, here's one of them. This is what I was talking about earlier when I was saying I got them printed and they're now just kind of sitting there. This is for one of them, and this is going to be my sergeant. And he's got, you know, this backpack mounted Melta, and I just can't get over how freaking cool this model is. Give me a second. I need to remove the supports off of the minigun. I'm very excited to start putting these guys together and paint them. I know, right? So, like, gun go here on him, and then these freaking awesome shoulder pads. Like, everything about this model slaps, and I really cannot wait to put these together. They are such great looking models. And they've got these power fists. Everything about them is cool. These are sweet models. I'm excited to put them together. 3D printing, holy crisis. I know, right? I mean, I'm playing one-page rules with these guys anyway, so I can do what I want. Yeah, they also have a chain gun. They do. They really do. So, you know, like, this thing right here, the Reaper autocannon or whatever, they have a version that hooks into this stud right here, and then they have, like, the ammo feed coming from the other side. So actually, give me a sec. I've got these pictures. I need to show you guys these pictures, because this thing is awesome. This is why I'm really happy I started doing the 3D printing, because Games Workshop is eventually going to release their own versions of Primaris Terminators or whatever, but seeing the ridiculous amount of creativity that people have come up with has just wowed me. And just seeing the stuff that they've managed to do. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, no, let's do these three. Bam! Bam! I mean, like, look at this. Tell me these are not the coolest looking Cataphracti Terminator armors you've ever seen. Like, they're just all so good looking. Yeah, that's what I'm expecting, and that's what I heard, is that we're going to get Primaris Terminators this edition. And don't get me wrong, I'm excited for it, but I feel like they already had that with Gravis. Let the Firstborns keep their own thing. They're beautiful, and I love them. They also have Tartaros ones. Give me a second. Tartaros. The Cataphracti are actually his second run. His first one were the Tartaros armor. So, like, these boys. Oh, wait. Yeah. These ones. So, this was his first run of the Voidwalker suits. The second one, the Tartaros, or the, yeah, I know, right? These are absolutely gorgeous. The second one, the Cataphracti, were called, like, the Warbringer suits. But, yeah, this guy... This person really understood the assignment. They made these so cool. That being said, I gotta get going. It's dinner time. I need to eat my dinner and then come back down. I might stream again in about another half hour to another hour. I don't know. If you guys are asleep by then, I definitely understand. I know that it's late across the pond, but I need to eat food. Okay, guys, I will see you later. You're very welcome. I'm glad to do it, and I'm glad that you guys all showed up. That was really cool. Have a great rest of the day, guys. Thank you for joining in, and if I don't see you later, I'll see you later, I guess. Bye-bye.